Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, May 23rd, 5:25 a.m. Central Time. Grain markets are mixed this morning. July corn futures up 1.25 at 462.5. July soybeans up 2.75 at 12.49. July Chicago wheat down 2.25 at 690.75. July Kansas City wheat down 0.75 cents at 698.75. July spring wheat down 2.5 at 734. We've got some fresh bird flu news this morning.
We sure do. So, a second case of bird flu has been confirmed in a Michigan dairy worker. The individual only reported symptoms of pink eye before recovering from the virus. Back in March, a Texas dairy worker became the first human to contract bird flu from dairy cattle. And like this one that was just confirmed, they just had pink eye, pretty normal stuff. According to the CDC, there is no evidence of human-to-human transmission at this time. As concerns grow over a potential human outbreak, vaccine developers are working to develop a bird flu vaccine. Because of this, shares of these pharmaceutical companies have surged. CureVac NV, a company that is in the early stages of testing a bird flu vaccine, saw its shares increase a whopping 15% on Wednesday.
Yesterday, after the close, I saw this. The U.S. is in active conversations with mRNA vaccine makers, Pfizer and Moderna, on a potential vaccine for humans. I don't think we want to go this route. I've got to figure out how to title this episode so that we don't get banned everywhere. Has the cattle market impact already been felt? Like, is the cattle market going to care about this anymore? I mean, it's been so widespread, anyways.
I would hope not. I mean, we went through this for how many weeks here a while back.
Yeah.
It should be fine, but you just never know with this situation.
It's I think it could be, and I don't think it will be, but it could be bigger than just a cattle market thing. I mean, if it really gets to like a human to human thing and the government wants to do vaccines, I mean, we've been down that road and we don't need to talk about it, but
right.
Scary stuff potentially. I don't know. That's the news this morning. Make of it what you will. Let's get to weather.
Severe weather is expected to impact the U.S. plains and Midwest during the next several days. Multiple rounds of severe storms are slated to hit a wide band of the U.S. plains today and into tonight. Central and eastern Nebraska may see the most extreme activity. Saturday's storms may impact Kansas and Oklahoma. Storms on Sunday may impact southern Illinois, western Kentucky, southeast Missouri, western Tennessee, and northeast Arkansas. Tornadoes, heavy straight line winds, and hail are all likely scenarios for these areas. Flash flooding is also a threat.
We've had plenty of rain and we've got more on the way. So the next 5 days going to be pretty active in terms of rainfall. The amounts that are slated for the Corn Belt, you're going to see 1 inch to 2 inches across a lot of Iowa, a lot of western Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Missouri. I mean, just about everywhere. There are pockets that will be dry. And of course, the amounts and locations are going to vary drastically from this map to reality. But more rain. And it begs the question about crop potential, replant, prevent plant. Final planting dates are coming up in a lot of areas. I think farmers will probably make efforts to plant beyond the final planting dates and incur that penalty because the crop insurance guarantees are so poor. But the situation has shifted drastically. I mean, we were talking drought not that long ago, and now it's we are way too wet, and maybe that will be our crop problem this year.
So if you guys have not checked out our premium content, you sure need to do so. Joe, can you tell me about yesterday's video with Brian Split?
Brian does charts for us every 2 weeks. He's absolutely fantastic. How high can wheat go? We also did corn and soybeans. I was actually shocked by some of the stuff Brian had to say about the soybean market in particular. Pete Meyer's doing Sunday pre-open weather videos for us. It'll be Monday this coming week because of Memorial Day, but we'll have a video blasted out at 6 p.m. on Sunday, or in this case, Monday. Pete's going to talk about weather, what happened over the weekend, has the forecast shifted, what does it mean for the market? Check out the premium deal today, guys. This is a $50 per month subscription. You'll get our morning email every single business day at 5 a.m. Central Time. The premium videos are included in that email and also blasted out at midday. There's a text message service that includes quotes. We also send the videos out via text. The videos are a piece of cake. We don't do like login instructions or anything like that. It's just one click private link to play the videos. So it's really, really easy once you sign up. Go to standardgrain.com this morning, $50 per month. Cancel at any time. No other fee, no other obligation. Nobody will try to sell you anything else. Give this deal a shot this morning, guys.
The rise in global grain prices may pose an inflationary threat to Russia's economy. Dry weather and frosts have damaged Russia's wheat crop as of late. The country's central bank is now concerned about the impact of increased wheat prices. Russia has banned grain exports on numerous occasions in the past to keep domestic prices suppressed. Back in 2010, Russia banned grain exports for almost 5 months due to a historical drought that threatened to send domestic prices higher. The ban caused wheat prices to soar to a 23-month high. Then in 2022, as we can all remember, after its invasion of Ukraine, Russia imposed a partial ban on grain exports that lasted just over 3 months. At the time, there were concerns about food shortages around the world.
Russia has crop problems. We're dealing with a crop scare event in real time. Here's Russian wheat export prices, and this is kind of just a broad picture. So we've seen a little bit of a spike here the last several weeks. You're way below what you saw, during 2022 or even 2023. In any case, I'm not predicting this, but if you were to see any sort of headline indicating that Russia is going to somehow curb or restrict exports because they're worried about inflation, that would be incredibly friendly to the market, at least for a day or two. I'm not predicting that. I don't know that prices are high enough to result in that, but if it did happen, look out above, maybe. I don't know.
Yesterday, AgroConsult cut its forecast for Brazil's second corn crop. The consultancy group has reduced its forecast for this season's crop to 96.7 million metric tons, a 10.5% decrease from last year's safrinha crop. The reduction is due to drought conditions in the Brazilian states of Parana and Mato Grosso do Sul. Both are known for their corn production. AgroConsult is forecasting Brazilian farmers to plant 40.2 million acres of safrinha corn, down almost 4% from last season. The reduced plantings are attributed to higher input costs and declining prices. Despite the estimated drop in Brazilian corn production, global corn stockpiles are slated to reach a 5-year high this year.
This looks and sounds like a bullish headline, but it's not. So AgroConsult has this second corn crop at 96.7, which, yeah, it's off versus last year. That's like they're still 10 million above CONAB. CONAB is at 86.2. That's what they printed a week ago or 10 days ago. So this group, AgroConsult, even though they're dealing with a lower number versus last year, they're much closer to like that higher USDA number when it comes to Brazilian corn production, and not so much CONAB. So this is not a friendly headline.
U.S. ethanol production increased last week. Weekly output of 1.02 million barrels was up 2% on the week and up 3.2% versus the same week last year. Ethanol stocks were pegged at 24.2 million barrels. The print was down 1.1% compared to the previous week, but up 4.4% compared to the same week last year. Implied gasoline demand was up 5% compared to the previous week and up 4.6% versus the same week last year. On average, over the last 4 weeks, implied U.S. gasoline demand is down 2% versus the same period last year.
Ethanol production is good. We're running 4% ballpark above last year's pace for the marketing year. Not the problem, but one thing that is noteworthy is that USDA increased, and I thought it was kind of odd that they increased their projection for corn usage via ethanol. So USDA says that for this current marketing year, we're going to be up 5.3% in terms of corn usage via ethanol, where the pace of production is only 4% above last year's pace. And that 1.3% difference, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it could be. It could be, 50 million bushels on the balance sheet. So I don't know. We need to play catch up a little bit if we're going to hit that USDA target.
Federal Reserve officials maintain that interest rates will remain elevated longer than originally expected. According to minutes from the Fed's most recent meeting, some policymakers are willing to raise interest rates if inflation does reaccelerate. But since the Fed's meeting, the April CPI showed that price pressures cooled last month. Also, the most recent monthly jobs report revealed that hiring slowed in April. Fed Governor Christopher Waller stated that the agency's next move is more likely to be a rate cut rather than a rate hike. He also said that the Fed will need several more months of good economic data before a rate cut will actually occur.
The market seemed to agree with Waller. Still a 60% chance of a September rate cut and a 75% chance, according to Treasury markets, that we'll see lower rates by November. Fed's in a tough spot. If you cut rates, you risk more inflation If you don't, your interest on the national debt goes to $1.5 trillion next year, which would be like your top line item. It's pretty scary stuff. They're screwed. What did cattle do yesterday?
They continued higher. Feeders were an average of 2.29 higher. Live cattle were an average of $1.07 higher. Box beef prices are starting to feel a bit heavy. They slid a bit yesterday. Choice ended the day at 312.17. That was down 85 cents. And select ended the day at 299.61. That was down $1.26.
Outside markets on Thursday, U.S. dollars off a little bit. The S&P is up 28 points and the NASDAQ is higher as well. We had NVIDIA earnings yesterday and they were very good. Gold's down $26. Crude oil is up 68 cents in the July WTI at 78.25. Have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you Friday.